Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. Happy Easter to everyone celebrating that holiday. Hope you and your families are enjoying the time. We're going to be enjoying some time here on the podcast. We are going to cover the final day of the NBA season, regular season, before our big show tonight, which is going to be covering the Eastern and Western Conference playoffs. With me, one of my two co-hosts out in North Carolina, Mr. Idris Salam, a.k.a. Bosco from the Bronx, a.k.a. the Mixmagician.
The Bronx.
Yeah, bro. I stayed up late with the boys.
I know.
I had a good time.
I understand.
Got a little bit of that peanut butter lip going. It's all good.
I never heard that be peanut butter lip.
In other words, I got dry mouth, bro. I went a little too hard on that drink yesterday.
All right.
Great time. Yes, indeed, Mr. Mike Zappy. Look how happy he is in that
Look
photo.
at him all cheesy and all. Look at Zappy.
Look at him. Look like Pete Davidson over there.
Totally.
Oh, he's coming in. I guess he's joining.
Uh-oh.
All right. By the way, Idris, I want to say I really dig the background, man. Appreciate that.
Hey, it's about the show. It's about the business. Let's get the business going.
Let's get the business going, indeed. And we got some business to speak on the hardwood. Going to start it out in Boston, team that we're going to rock in the ECF if we get past Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. Ooh. The Hawks, 41-40 at the Boston Celtics, who sport the second best record in the Eastern Conference. They are locked into the 2 spot at 56-25. Just want to let the viewers know today is all about resting your guys. You're going to see a lot of bench play. You're going to see a lot of guys coming off the bench playing hard. In all actuality, there were 2 games that have playoff implications in terms of a play-in. That is the Lakers situation. That is the Thunder situation. As the game goes, Celtics will win this one, I say, in the low to high 90s. That's my prediction here. More importantly, the Celtics are going to be getting ready for their first round opponent. We are going to speak on that this evening. Idris, what do you see for the Celtics in general going into this playoff hunt? We're going to do a detailed deal tonight, the whole lick on the playoffs. But what do you see? I think they've been playing some better ball.
I agree. I think they'll rest everybody today. They might get a quarter in, maybe. But I don't really see much happening in this game. I see them winning, but I could see possibly the Hawks pulling it out based on the Celtics not really going hard, But they're at home, so they might win it for the home crowd.
Yeah, they get a W today because it's like anything else. There's a reason why one team is flirting at 500. There's a reason why the other team is a little shy of 60. Yeah. It's because of the fact that they have a lot of guys that could get it done. The better teams in this league have benches that can beat other teams' starters. That is a thing. Moving it along, this game is going to be the biggest chameleon of every game played today because this is a first-round matchup. Brooklyn Nets still hanging on to a decent enough record, and I do attribute that to before they blew up the roster. KD is currently in Phoenix now. 76ers, they are a tough one to figure because the Philadelphia 76ers always have beautiful regular seasons. Joel Embiid is always MVP candidate. I still think that it comes down to James Harden on where this team is going to go in the postseason. I got the Sixers losing this one today to Brooklyn, but I think both teams are going to be in chameleon mode because this game means nothing, and in a few days it's going to mean something because this is your first-round matchup. I think the Brooklyn Nets are very fortunate to not be in the play-in, and like I said, you can attribute that to the play of the players that they sent away. Kyrie had a better season in Brooklyn than he has had in Dallas, and KD's doing his thing right now in Phoenix. A lot of people's favorite to win the Western Conference. The Kyrie situation in Dallas, definitely a disappointment. Doc Rivers, former New York Knick, who we appreciated as a player, one of the grittiest players in NBA history, pretty good coach, but unfortunately he has not had the playoff success with the exception of his championship with Boston's Big Three of Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce. They had some epic battles with LeBron's Miami Heat as well as Kobe's Lakers over the years. But this is, in my opinion, a do-or-die playoffs for Mr. Doc Rivers, because this Philadelphia team has the horses to pull off that second-round upset. They have the horses to represent the East in the finals, but they also have, the recent history of being a team that just doesn't get it done this time of the year. Ben Simmons, on the other side, a player that Philly traded, his career has completely went on the downturn. He won't even be suiting up for the series. He got shut down a couple of weeks ago for the year, so that takes that storyline away to see if Ben Simmons could get any kind of revenge on his former team. Maybe he tries to trip somebody. I don't know. You talk about a fall from grace. That's a player. I got the Nets winning this game, but they're going to have an important series very shortly. Our opponents, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Got to ask you this, Idris. Should the Knicks have traded for Donovan Mitchell in the offseason, or do you think they were asking for too much out of Utah?
I think Utah was asking for too much. Way too much. We'd have lost R.J. Barrett, a couple of
That
firsts.
was the guy I didn't want to lose.
Yeah, they wanted too much.
I would have been all right with Juju. I would have sent them a ton of picks with Juju, but it'd be like, you ain't taking anybody else.
Right. Yeah, I wanted Mitchell, but I'm cool with Brunson. I think he's done a great job. And the thing about it is, I've heard a lot of Knicks fans. Let me speak on the Cavaliers first. Great season for them. Great season. I mean, they were looking good last year. And this year, boom, they put it together. They got a good future with Mitchell. I think they're another piece away from really pushing it. But
yeah,
they look good in Cleveland. As for the Mitchell, R.J. Barrett, you know what? I'm going to talk on that when we get to the Knicks. But I think the Cavaliers, they're heading in the right direction. They got us next in the playoffs. As for the Hornets, Jordan selling his stock in the team.
I didn't even know that. That's news.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's been a disaster. I think it was doomed from the start because I noticed when he took over, it's not a knock against Jordan, great player. I still say he's the GOAT. I think the problem was when he first took over, they wanted to bring a lot of Carolina players over. Mr. Zappy's in the building. Good morning, brother. And I think that was the thing. They just didn't really put it together. Kaminsky, and they just made a lot of bad drafts, man.
Yeah, and the purpose for this show, because quite frankly, a lot of these games don't have any value outside of the two that I mentioned when we started, is that we want to talk about where teams are going. I appreciate you divulging into the Hornets. They're a team that is definitely going to be in a sort of transition, whereas the Cavaliers are on the other side of that, very young team. I do think the Cleveland Cavaliers are the most vulnerable. Well, no, they're the second most vulnerable 4 seed in these playoffs because there is that possibility that Golden State's the 5. Golden State championship pedigree. We have documented their issues winning games on the road, so that is most certainly an issue that could rear its ugly head, or they can turn it up a notch because they are the champs. But Cleveland playing the Knicks team, I think I'm going to tip my hand a little on who you think I'm going to pick to win that series. Tune in tonight. But very exciting time for Madison Square Garden. Got the New York Rangers and the New York Knicks both in the playoffs. And while I don't think the Rangers in hockey are the best team, the cool thing is we do have the best goalie in the NHL, which always gives us a puncher's chance. But the Boston Bruins have a chance to become the winningest NHL team in history. So keep an eye on that. We're going to be speaking on that on a future show as well. Zappy, welcome to the show, buddy. How you doing?
Good, man. I kind of feel the way Alex Pereira feels today.
Yeah, man. We talk about wasted content all the time because we have great conversations. And while the show was really great yesterday, definitely check it out. It was our first Yankees wrap-up. Texas Rangers got some infiltration on that show, as well as other teams in the American League, mainly from the East. It's as a diehard Yankee fan, and a new friend of the show who's going to be visiting more frequently, our friend Corey, as well as Mr. Idris right here, all big Yankee fans. So this is something that I want the viewer to know. We're going to be pushing more Yankee shows in terms of taking it away, because, you know, the beautiful thing about baseball is that it's a journey, and I'm going to be covering the good, the bad, and the ugly as the season progresses with my team. And whenever Mr. Zappy's around, of course, I'm going to make sure that he's able to speak on step by step what his Rangers are going through. We got State of Florida showdown here. Orlando Magic, who unfortunately are not in the playoffs. I do believe that if the Orlando Magic got off to a little bit of a better start, they'd be where Brooklyn is this year. I think player for player, roster for roster, the Magic are a better team than the Brooklyn Nets, who are the team that is outside of the play-in at 6. This time next year, I expect Orlando to be a playoff team. I think they are a player away from being a valuable factor. Now, Miami, on the other hand, a couple years removed from an NBA Finals appearance in the Mickey Mouse showdown with LeBron James, they could be a team in transition. You know, Spoelstra's been there for 100 years.
Yeah.
Udonis Haslem calling it a career. A lot of people didn't even realize that Udonis was still in the NBA. I said it yesterday off air. He wants to get his jersey retired. He's earned that, and he will be up on the rafters. But as far as the Heat go, definitely a transition. They're in the play-in situation. Their season might end in a couple of days, or they might sneak in and make some noise. They are a bit of an enigma, but I do think Jimmy Butler is a player to keep an eye on in the offseason, that he could be getting moved. And I think there's a culture change coming in Miami.
I agree. I think with Jimmy Butler, a lot of Miami fans may not like him, but I think he's just a lot of talk. He got game, you know, but I think he was just so much of a diva to where he felt he could lead a team, and he was all of this and all that, but he never really produced that way. He never really took that team to the next level. Okay, they got to the NBA Finals during the pandemic year, but, you know, come on.
That's the highlight of his career, knocking out Giannis's Bucks.
Right.
And I get it, same disadvantage, but it just don't have the same allure.
Right, but every place he's gone has always been some type of drama. Minnesota was another place. You know, Philly. It's always been something.
Chicago,
and he's always complete. He's always seen himself as the man, but you have not shown you are the man.
Zappy, you good over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
It's the Alex Pereira thing. He'll be.
Anything you want to add to the Miami Heat, Zappy, on their immediate trajectory before we move it along to the greatest franchise in the NBA?
They got to get rid of Jimmy Butler.
Yes, sir. That is the theory.
That's about it, and it's sad because I was a fan of Jimmy when he was a Bull, but they got to get rid of Jimmy Butler. This is another Kyrie situation.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't think I could have said it any better than you, Zap.
The only difference between him and Kyrie, Jimmy Butler doesn't take a lot of games off. But other than that, same player.
But then when you see some of the stuff that happens, you almost wish that he did take a couple of games here and there.
Same guy. Different uniform. Same guy.
Moving it along to the Mecca. Madison Square Garden, Indiana Pacers making a trip out east to play Idris and I, New York Knicks. 50 years ago, this man helped lead the New York Knicks to their second championship, a win over the legendary Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, the Los Angeles Lakers. The performance was very modest. He scored the first bucket of the game, heroically coming down the tunnel when most people thought he wasn't going to play. Why am I mentioning this right now? It's because it's 50 years. Mr. Idris brought that to my attention before we went live. The Knicks definitely heading in the right direction. Shout out Gabby Salazar. And listen. Our guy Zay, I remember I was at work with him when we acquired Jalen Brunson. And I myself was not entirely sold. But, you know, Zay said, nah, man, he's going to do wonders for your franchise. He's going to do his thing. So shout out Zay Fetty, he definitely nailed that prediction. As the Knicks go, huge playoff series with the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is not 2020. There's a different excitement about this Knicks team because I think a lot of people truly believe that they actually do have the horses to pull off that upset, to potentially get to the ECF and play a Boston team that they have owned during the regular season. That will be revealed. Got to win can't jump into the third round until you win the first one. But Jalen Brunson, in my opinion, has been a true catalyst and facilitator to this team. I think it's a blessing having a future NBA Hall of Famer like Derrick Rose in your ear. This is Derrick Rose's final ride. I think today will probably be the last time we truly see Derrick Rose get some big minutes, barring an injury during these playoffs. And Derrick Rose has announced that he's retiring at year's end. This Indiana Pacers team, on the converse, going in the right direction in my eyes, but they are a few years out from being a factor. Gentlemen, anything you want to add to either one of these organizations before we move it along?
Go for that.
Knicks are going to get swept.
By who?
Yeah, I want to know by who.
Milwaukee.
Bro?
I'm about to break this.
No, look, I like this Knicks team. I do. I like this Knicks team a lot. Ever since they made that trade for Josh Hart, I've been a fan of that trade. I emphasized that trade a lot for you guys. I like Tom Thibodeau a lot. It's just the one thing that has eluded him. It was when he was with the Bulls, the Wolves, everyone. He has not gotten that championship, and he has not shown the ability to win in the Eastern Conference or Western Conference Finals. So I like the Knicks, but I think I can't see you guys beating the Bucks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we wanted to announce that today is Mike Zappi's last show.
Oh, don't get all sad now. Come on, man.
You and Gabby could start a show together.
Yeah, he told us off air, but he didn't want to announce it. Today is his last show.
It is, and then I will be. And when you guys are sitting there watching,
go to sleep like Alex Pereira.
And when you guys are watching the Knicks go down, you're gonna be like, "Damn, that Zappy, he was right again."
Anyway, look here. Let me say, we're gonna have a good series against Cleveland. I'm glad we got Brunson. I wanted
Donovan
Mitchell, but I had no problem with Brunson because I remember his father played for us for a while.
Yes, indeed.
And he's always been close to the Knicks, coaching staff and everything. So I was cool with the trade. I really was. And now going to Luka, and I heard a lot of fans say, bring Luka over to the Knicks. And I'm saying no. Because when he had Brunson's gone because they felt Luka can do it all. But now we see without Brunson where that team is. They got Kyrie, but Kyrie can shoot. He can score. He can penetrate. But what makes Brunson different, he can shoot, score, and he's a leader.
And he can facilitate. Where
Facilitator.
Kyrie doesn't make everybody around him. But I will say this. Kyrie showed his ass when they defeated arguably the greatest team of all time in the Golden State Warriors. And I say arguably because they didn't get it done. The greatest team of all time is Michael Jordan's 97 Bulls. Was it 97 or 96, Zappy? Correct me if I'm wrong. The 72-10 team was 97 or 96?
7.
Okay, it was 97. All right. I just want to say that one of those 10 losses was to the Knicks. Okay.
And you know what's funny? No one remembers one of those 10 losses because the Bulls hoisted the championship at the end of the year.
This guy is it's getting close, man. It's getting close.
I haven't even got it started about the Giants or Yankees yet. Let's go.
Yeah, we got to know about this. Anyway, I think next series with Cleveland, I think it's going to be a good series. It's our 50th year anniversary of when we actually twice both championships, 1-4-3, 1-4-1. Laker fans like to throw up how long it's been since we won a championship. It was against both Laker teams. So when next time y'all talk about last championship, Laker fans, you bring up that our championships was against your squads, both of them.
Indeed, the two big ones against legendary Lakers squads. Jerry West, he only has that that won. He lost a ton of finals. The Knicks are culprits in that, as well as the Celtics. The team that we're gonna shock the world against in round 2, the Milwaukee Bucks, led by the great Giannis, taking a trip out to Canada against the Raptors, a team that is going to be in the play-in scenario. I expect the Bucks to rest everybody. Raptors probably win today. That doesn't matter, so to speak. The Bucks have locked down the 1 seed, which is going to make it very difficult for Mr. John Olsen when the Knicks actually do end their season in round 2. But the Raptors, I like what I'm seeing out of this team in terms of forward trajectory. I do feel that when I look at Brooklyn, I think they're clogging up a spot. I would rather see this Raptors team possibly get a crack at Philly. I think it makes for a better series. I guess I'm tipping my hand and saying what I think about the Brooklyn Nets, not too much. As the Bucks go, they've had some defensive breakdowns towards the last couple of weeks of this season. I know Mr. Olsen has alluded to that on a previous show, that it is a concern of his. And I do believe that sometimes with the Bucks, their offense gets a little stagnated where it's Giannis and a lot of people watching him. I am going to be a stickler for free throw violations because Giannis takes longer than pitchers do to get that ball across the mound. I love the guy. Class act through and through. One of the great human beings in today's NBA. But he does take 6 years to shoot those free throws.
You put a shot clock on him, man.
I'll put it to you like this, man. I love my Knicks. Beating the Bucks in round 2, because I do think we're going to win in round 1, is going to be a tall task. But if we do, I do believe in my heart and soul and my brain that the Knicks will defeat the Boston Celtics and go to their first NBA Finals since 1999.
Everything you say, I think the Bucks will sit everyone. They'll probably lose today, but there's nothing to gain, everything to lose by starting anyway.
Zappy's over there looking like an intruder just came in. What's going on over there?
I'm pinching myself, making sure I'm not dreaming. I want to make sure I heard correctly what he just said.
You heard everything.
I got the 99 part. Yeah, I know that. I mean, NBA shortened season due to the strike, but what? No, not yet.
If we can beat the Bucks,
you know why you're not going to the finals?
It's going to be hard to beat.
You know why you're not going to the finals?
Okay.
Because of one player and one player only.
This is the part that I hate to agree with, but I do tend to agree, and I know where he's going to go, but I got to let him say what he has to say.
It's because of Julius Randle, and that's the reason why you're not going to the finals.
I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
I hate it too, because I'll tell you the truth, and I've said this, Idris, on a lot of shows lately. Yeah. I like the way the Knicks are playing without Juju.
Yeah,
I think that they take more quality shots, and I like the expansion of a couple of bench pieces that are getting expanded minutes. Like even when you get our man Obi Toppin a few more minutes, he brings an energy to that team. I'm so happy that we didn't package him in a deal. He's one of my favorite Knicks, and just so electrifying in terms of playing above the rim. The dude is a beast. I saw one of his best dunks in Orlando with Brett right in front of me a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yes, Julius Randle has got to channel some of his tendencies for the betterment of the team. I'm just not sure if that's going to happen. And if we do get beat by Milwaukee, I have to agree with Zappy for that one reason. That could be the holdup.
Randall likes to play hero ball.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just stop it. Give the ball to Brunson. Let him take over.
Brunson's best player on the team. Yeah. And you can make an argument that Emmanuel Quickly is the second.
Quickly, yeah. Let those guys run the offense.
Yes, sir. And let Derrick Rose be in their ears because he's seen it all.
You don't have to be a hero. We don't need heroes.
No, man.
We don't need heroes.
If you want to march down the canyon of heroes, you need to stop playing that hero.
You'll be a hero
if you shoot 20 bricks, then you become an anti-hero.
Right.
Man. You all right?
I agree, Zap. You're right.
I've been waiting my whole life for this, man.
Yeah, I got lucky. I did see their 2
championships. Do it for this guy. He deserves it.
I saw their 2 championships. I was young, and I understood we won, but it's not like understanding when you're young. You see your team win a championship, like yeah. But when you're an adult and you see your team win a championship, it's a whole. I want to see them win I was 8 years old when they won 7 or 8 years old when they won the first one.
Gosh, it's been that long.
Yes, dude. 70. The second one, 73.
That was
9 years old, man.
That was actually in the New Testament.
Yeah, it was, man. Right there. Yeah, right at the beginning.
You know what? I think we got to bring on
the Book of Matthew.
The Book of Matthew. Are you sure it wasn't the Book of New York?
Book of Matthew, 1973. That was the verse. You gotta look for it. It's in the old, but it's in the old version of it. It's not in the updated. It's not in the NAFC and just that. Yeah.
Rakim explained it in the 18th level.
It's in the Vulgate version. Of, you know the parts of the Bible they took out. You gotta look at that one, the 1611 version.
Rakim explained this in the 18th letter.
Yeah, he did. The seventh seal.
Yeah, the seventh seal. Also, New York, the Far East. If you don't know, you just don't know. I'm not even going to talk about this. This doesn't deserve to be spoken on. So
absolutely. Well, the Rockets get the number 1 pick. That's about all to say about this one.
Yes, they're going to get the number 1 pick
to that team.
There ain't no more Penny and Shaq. I don't care what they said, man. It's like the Royal Rumble when you're drawing something. There was a little. And listen, I'll keep it a buck. The NBA wanted this guy to go to the New York too. So
say what you want. They did.
Hey, come on, let's be honest here.
They did.
Nobody wanted Sam Bowie to go to the Blazers. That was just a fumble and a half.
Mike
and Drexler.
Sam Bowie was the best. He's up there with Greg Oden.
You got Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan, and in between, you get Sam Bowie. My God, can you imagine if Drexler and Mike would have manned down a backcourt together, and then maybe. You play a 3-guard situation. We would have never. Oh God, way to go, Blazers! The Detroit Pistons and the Chicago Bulls. Once upon a time, this was epic. There ain't nothing epic about it now. The Bulls not pleased with what happened this year. Zach LaVine got to go.
They got to blow it all up.
They got to blow it up completely.
Yeah,
the Pistons are literally the worst team in the world right now.
Yeah, the Pistons. It's a matter of all they're trying to do is position themselves also for victor. It's a 3-team race for victor. It's Detroit, San Antonio, and Houston, with Detroit in the lead on that one. As far as the Bulls go, this is a team that went all in to go get players like Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, Vucevic. I mean, it just has not worked out. Last year they did good, but it wasn't enough. And they got to blow it up. They need to blow it up and start over again because this was not it.
About the Bulls? I think with the Bulls, like I heard a couple years ago, a lot of people, Zach LaVine. I said, Zach LaVine was a great dunker. He could score points. Yeah. But everybody got enamored with his dunking.
He's not a 2-way player.
That's if you were to, the perfect marriage would be Zach LaVine and Ben Simmons. If you could combine the 2 players together, then you would have a great player. Because I look at the 2 of them and I think they're the same because they're both one-way players. Ben can play the defense. Zach can play the O.
Yep. Yeah. And I didn't understand Bull fans going crazy. Look, Zach LaVine is good, but he's not all that. He can jump over he can jump out the building. Mm-hmm. He can score, but he don't play any defense.
No, sir.
Come on,
and if you don't play defense, you can end up being a paying customer and coming to the building that way.
What's his name? DeMar DeRozan.
DeRozan, yeah. He was the nice one. It's just you could tell age is catching up with him.
Age is catching up on him. Yeah.
Last year was his last hurrah. Put it that way.
And
now
Lonzo
he's on the
Ball,
decline of his career.
He can't stay healthy. He's a good player, good facilitator, good defensive player. I mean, but he can't stay healthy.
In my honest opinion, I think DeMar DeRozan needs to look himself in the mirror and come to the realization that he would be better suited to come off the bench and to preserve his body. I think he would be a guy that could be a 6th man of the year for the next couple of years, but trying to get 38 minutes a game, his body can't handle it anymore.
Do you think we should maybe set him up to talk to Cam Newton and maybe they can both accept this reality?
Well, at least with Newton, he's slowly accepting it. Slowly.
Yeah, it only took 4
fast
years.
Enough.
Well,
When Von Miller looked at him like a rabid dog and said, "No, that's not your football. That's my football," and Cam's like, "You know what, man? I don't want that football all that much. I don't care if it's the Super Bowl or not. Sorry, man. Ever since that moment, Cam Newton has never been right."
I was standing on the 10-yard line watching that happen.
Yeah, you were at that game. I remember you telling me.
I was at that Super Bowl. I was on the field when that happened. It was beautiful.
Oh, man.
Around Zappy's way, we got the Mavericks. The biggest failure. When you look at where this team's been the last couple of years.
The biggest failure in 40 years, they said.
Terrible. When KD went to Phoenix. They are a legitimate championship threat. Everybody thought that was going to be comparable when Dallas acquired Kyrie. It just hasn't worked out.
17.
And to Idris's point, yes, Kyrie could score, and yes, Kyrie is a phenomenal talent. And the stats, I also spoke to Zay about this as well. The stats are similar to every year of his career, which are pretty good stats, but the stat that matters is winning games. And I do believe that with the exception of a short while in Cleveland, where you can make an argument that he was the best player on the team at times alongside the great LeBron James, I'm sorry, man. This was a true failure. And while Luka is an exceptional scorer, I also think people are starting to realize Luka is like a souped up version of Juju, another guy that likes to play too much hero ball. Mm-hmm. Another guy, Idris said this earlier in the season, likes Luka a lot, but Luka plays too much.
And I'm not going to put it on Kyrie.
No, he joined this shit show when it was already going down.
This goes on management, ownership, because like in the press conference with Jason Kidd, he said everything but we're tanking. Because he said it comes from the ownership. They said, do you agree with it? He said, I work for them.
Yeah, Jake Kidd is on the way out. I think we
basically said it. We're tanking. We threw it away.
There's a reason why this team is under investigation right now for their actions against the Bulls the other night, where you're still in the playoff race. You're still have an opportunity to get into the play-in, but you rest your starters after the first quarter. That was the definition right there.
Where was this energy in the NFL when the Philadelphia Eagles pulled this crap? Yes, sir. Where the Philadelphia Eagles pulled this crap against the then Washington football team, keeping my New York Giants out of the playoffs, where we could have been the winner of the worst year in NFC East history. They took that away from us. No, but seriously, they laid down. They did it too. It wasn't cool. And believe you me, on the national stage for the NFL, Chris Collinsworth, who I can't stand, that's the one and only time that I was on his team, saying that he was disgusted that you have people like Jason Kelsey, who are everything that's right about football, screaming, wanting to win a damn football game that they were going to win. Then you put into some clown named Sudafed.
Yeah. I think with Dallas, it was Kyrie went there to do what he does. He could score. He could penetrate. He can make you look stupid. But he's not
he can do it all.
He's not a facilitator.
He's not a facilitator. Well, that's a big part of that position.
Has had Porzingis. He's had Brunson. Mm-hmm. He's had what he had, but for some reason, everyone got shipped out. And this goes on ownership, management. Jason Kidd is out of there.
He's done.
Like I said, he got up there and said, basically, I do what they say.
He's done. He's done. Last time he spoke like this was when
he's with him
and Jimmy Jackson were trying to stick the same
franchise.
Yeah, Roy Tarpley, that was some cancer back in the day. Remember him?
Same franchise.
Oh my!
They
are.
We should bring Gabby on and destroy him on his Mavs right now.
I love it because that guy, me and him had gone at it so many times in groups.
It's how you have your
Robert Jordan, who's a Giants fan. Sorry to interrupt you, Zappy. Just wanted to say this real quick.
RJ,
That's how I actually ran into that post.
Yeah, because RJ, he's good at it with
and the timing couldn't have been any more perfect because, like I said, I'm at work the other day, and Zay and I, at least once an hour, it got to a point of comedy at some point. Where we kept going back and forth, with little short words to each other in between, the busyness of our day, talking about Jalen Brunson. So, and then I noticed when I step outside on my way home, that post, and I said, oh, this is golden. I got to put this on my page. Yeah. So shout out Robert Jordan for, definitely.
He him up a few times in the groups, man.
Yeah, shout out to him. I know he occasionally might run into the show. But yeah, that's pretty good stuff there, man.
It's, you think of it this way. He's a huge Cowboys fan. I'm a huge Cowboys fan. And I have gone off on the guy at some of his takes, and I'm like, bro, I think it's best if you just stay off the internet.
Him and Ryan Hunter.
I'm telling you, man. You talk about, the couple of the NFC East hated groups that we're in. There was one that before it got it got hacked, and so we had to go start another one.
Yeah.
But this guy was hated by Eagles, Giants, Commanders, Washington football team, Redskins, and Cowboys fan. Like, he's annoying.
It's an interesting world, some of these pages, because you get the creme de la creme of like knowledgeable fans.
Yeah.
You get some trolls. You get some thirst crew members.
Yeah.
That's our fan base.
We haven't them in a while.
Yo, hey, I think once we do our draft stuff, I'm sure they're gonna come out of the woodshed and say, "Hey, we need to get Bryce Young. We got to draft him. We got to figure out a way to get up to number 1."
Yeah.
We must get Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
We got Dwayne Haskins. I want Haskins.
Yeah, take for Trevor. Tank for
Tua.
Tua.
Rest in peace, Dwayne. That's no disrespect to you. I'm talking about my fan base.
Take for
You know what I'm saying? It's like, Jesus, guys, like you what do you guys do? Is it about posting up? Is it about taking photos? Know the nuances of the fucking game.
Right.
The Mavericks need to bring in a competent coach, and they need to bring in a locker room presence.
Yeah.
Because when you're bringing in a Kyrie, that's not your locker room presence. A great player, but that's not. They need someone that is going to be able to walk up to Luka and say, "Shut up, do your job,
and stop flirting with hot referees."
Because
look at Brunson. He's gone. Look where the team is.
I gotta say though, she is really pretty though.
She's pretty as hell.
Oh my God. If I would, my peak of my basketball career was only high school. Yeah. But my God, if they had a referee like that when I was running around, bro, I probably would have had like 18 turnovers.
Yeah, she's cutie. She was a cutie.
Oh my! And
18 turnovers, or would you have just rolled your ankle in the first play of the game?
I probably rolled my ankle.
I would have rolled my ankle. Yeah, I would have not made it the whole game.
Yeah, looking back and just going for a rebound and look over and come down on your ankle.
We're getting all sidetracked here, but one thing I do want to say about her is like the true beauty is like, it's like the minimal look. It's all natural. I'm like, man, what a beautiful woman. What a beautiful woman.
Right.
The Denver Nuggets, talking about the converse of what we just Idris, is this still your pick for the finals? You know what? Don't even tell us. Okay, it did. Okay. Yes. We're going to elaborate on our show tonight. Jokic might be the MVP of this league.
It is, but that other team is who I want to flip back to, but I gotta, who the other team is.
Yes, I'm aware. So we're gonna leave it be for now. This is my take on the Nuggets. I'll expand more when the show happens tonight. Jokic deserves the MVP. Idris, you brought this to my attention, as did Zappy, about the phenomenal triple-double numbers and victory alongside it, what their record looks like when he does hit those metrics on the stat sheet. This is a team that has a nice bench. This is a team that is deep, but this is my problem with them. I am not convinced that they have the championship pedigree to do it in a short series. When I say short series, a week is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Against a team like a Golden State, if Golden State is digging deep, they have that championship pedigree. Out west, that's what makes the West such a mystery. I can't wait to talk about this conference tonight.
Yeah.
The Kings, definitely a resurgence. Some of their best ball played this year since the fun time of this franchise, when they had White Chocolate replaced later by Bibby. They had Doug Christie. They had Peja. They had C-Webb. They had Scott Pollard, who looked like he should have been like in a surf competition, not necessarily an NBA player. They had the greatest flopper in history in Vlade. They reignited. They had that great rivalry with the Lakers. They should have beaten the Lakers.
They got robbed.
Oh yeah, don't get me started, dog. And then Vlade deserved it. I thought Vlade thought he was still playing for the Lakers when he did that ridiculous tap out to the most lethal shooter in NBA playoff history in freaking Robert Horry. I'm like, bro, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Nuggets, we're going to expand on them more. Jokic is my MVP, though. I'm going to give him that praise.
I think the way the season finished for Denver is very similar to how the season finished for Jokic, and I think the MVP is going to Embiid. I think the way he put the Sixers on his back over the last month, he won the MVP. It's close, but I've got to give it to Joel Embiid, man. I just don't like the way the Nuggets have finished off the year this year.
Oh, and I don't think that you're going to like the way that they finish off the playoffs either, or nor Philly for that matter. I have a feeling they both have similar destinies. But, the best player in the world, in my opinion, is Giannis. But these two players that have been mentioned, and he is my number 2. Going into the season, I did pick him to win league MVP, Joel Embiid. I just think that when you factor in the record and when you factor in the season and the record that they have when he does what he does, I still think he gets the edge. Whoever wins, both men are deserving. And this stirred up that whole thing with the Kendrick Perkins finally being released. And listen, a lot of correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they give Kendrick the boot?
If they did, good.
I believe they did.
He was out of line, dude.
Whatever the case may be, and listen, there are a lot of things that are wrong when it comes to MVP voting. If I want to argue, I could argue about how Kobe Bryant only got 1. I do think that allegations that happened when he was a very young man always cast a gray cloud around him, and I don't think that's right because you're grading these people on what they do in between the lines, in between the battle of the sport. Kobe Bryant, no knock on Steve Nash, he was a hell of a player for a couple of years, and maybe he did deserve to win at least one of those. But the fact that Kobe only got 1 and he is arguably the clone of Michael Jordan, that is just all kinds of wrong. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. We still miss you. Phenomenal player, even a better human being. And speaking about Kobe's love, the Los Angeles Lakers.
This is the interesting one. Before you start.
No, I'm going to let you take this one.
All right, so the next, I'm assuming it's the next 4 games. I'd have to check the banners. But this is what we have to play here with the next 4 games we're going to cover between the Lakers, the Warriors, the Clippers, and the Pelicans. The Eastern Conference is set. And then go back what you were saying, what I find crazy is if you take the Nuggets, the number 1 seed in the West, over to the East, they're the number 4 seed, I believe. That's what when was the last time we said something like that?
Right.
Anyways, seeds 5 through 8 are not set in the West.
Correct.
The team that controls their destiny is the Warriors and the Clippers.
I'm so thankful for this because I did not want to explain this.
No, the teams that control their destiny are the Warriors and the Clippers. The Clippers play against the Suns. The Warriors travel to Portland today. I think the Warriors are in a position where they want to win, obviously, but they want the Clippers to win. I believe they want that 6th seed, so they'll have the 3-6 matchup against the Kings in the first round.
Yeah, that's everything leading towards.
If the Warriors lose and the Lakers win, the Lakers jump up, obviously. If at any point the Warriors are tied if they lose and are tied 4 ways with the Clippers, the Lakers and the Pelicans, the Warriors drop to the 8th seed. So there's a lot going on today.
And that's why we're doing the show tonight, because we could come up with 16 different predictions, but the bottom line is we're going to have our answers. And at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the 3 of us will be back for our NBA playoff preview. Zappy will be back, I believe. I'm taking the Lakers to I'm taking the Lakers to win this game. The Lakers know what's at stake. They're going to win this game. Keeping it here, I got the Suns winning this game. To Zappy's point about implications. Dame time, if he plays today, I could see him dropping a 50 burger, and I still think Golden State wins. And that is essentially what we have going on. The Western Conference is not set yet, and the Western Conference is the hardest to forecast because I think what makes the Western Conference so damn interesting is when you look at what championship pedigree means and what it looks like. Hate them, love them, indifferent. Nobody's indifferent. You either hate them or you love them. King James coming back after sitting out a good chunk of this season at different junctures. He is the NBA's all-time scoring leader. I don't want to get into the GOAT debate. That's not what I'm going to do here. But I will say this, the Los Angeles Lakers, and Zappy shares my sentiments on this, if they hit the ground running, get out of that play-in, do their thing, the Los Angeles Lakers, Golden State Warriors, and any team that Kevin Durant plays on, this year it's the Suns, those are your 3 teams that have the pedigree to potentially do something special, and that's what's so scary about the West. You could essentially see the first round being tougher than the second round because of the way the matchups play out, and because with the advent of rest minutes, rest days, not necessarily putting an onus on on home court advantage the same way we've seen it up in the Eastern Conference. It comes down to what can we do when we're healthy, and can we, it's a marathon. It's not the sprint. The Warriors are not worried about having the best record. Neither are the Lakers. But these are teams that if they hit the right stride, can run the table, can get where, LeBron James, say what you want. The man has only a 4-6 record in the finals, but the man has been to 10 finals. So he knows what to do in the playoffs. LeBron's a facilitator, something that Kyrie isn't. These are things that I will praise the man on. And, you have the emergence of other players on this Lakers team that do make them dangerous. As far as the Warriors go, what more can I say? Steve Kerr, entering the conversation amongst great coaches of yesteryear, like the Phil Jacksons, like the Greg Popoviches, like the Red Auerbachs, like the Pat Rileys. He's getting into that convo.
I say with the Warriors, I've said it for a while. I still think they've been playing coy the whole season. I think they just haven't been putting it on. I think they've been – because look at their home record. Yeah. It's like they've been giving the fans what they want to see at home. But on the road, it's been like,
Them and Golden State have that in common.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I think with Golden State, I think they wasn't really going hard on the road. I just have that feeling. I think
the struggle's real. I don't think that it's not about not caring or anything like that. I think it is real that they have truly struggled.
And they've missed Wiggins.
Yeah, yes,
he's coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back. That's why I say the Nuggets are my pick, but who I really feel is going to be the threat is Golden State, because they know how to win, they know how to turn it on, and once they get to having fun, you can't beat them.
I don't want to tip my hand too much. All I'm going to say is, in addition to fuck you, AJ Hinch, I also want to say fuck you, Don Nelson. I don't mean that. I don't mean that in like.
Why you don't like Don Nelson?
Well, number one, he tried to trade Patrick Ewing behind his back.
Oh yeah.
Number two, we were one pick away from drafting Steph Curry. I got no bad for Don. He was doing what he's supposed to do for his organization.
Steph wanted to come to New York. That's the thing.
I say that in a playful way. I don't mean that in any malicious way. I respect Don Nelson, great player and a great coach. Maybe not for us, but that doesn't matter right now. The point is that he had, and Steph wanted to come to New York. And that's why. That's why this will be so epic when it happens, where you might see the New York Knicks
if we get
have
there,
an opportunity to stare down.
If we get there, you see that message from your house, I broke it to your house. You got to fire me because I will no longer be on the show.
Look, man. Look, I love it. I love this Western Conference Finals or the Western Conference playoffs because, to me, the team to watch is obviously the Golden State Warriors. They went out and they acquired Gary Payton Jr.
Yeah, huge pickup for them. They needed that.
And ever since they got Gary on this team, and ever since Gary has started playing, you could see that playoff basketball has finally arrived again.
And similar to his dad, definitely a force.
He's a force
on the defensive side, and definitely a guy that can change the culture of a locker room.
And you ask yourselves this: what's the more intriguing matchup for the playoffs for the Western Conference? What in regards to the Warriors? Is it a 5 seed playing against the Suns? Is it a 6 seed playing against the Kings? Is it a 7 seed playing against the Grizzlies, or is it an 8 seed playing against Denver? So there's a lot to watch out for, but I think
Grizzlies are playing better ball without John. I just want to make a mention.
They don't want, they are. But it's a whole new year after today.
New York Knicks signing forward Isaiah Roby for the rest of the season through 2023, 2024, according to Woj. That just came across.
Okay.
Woj. No, so it's going to be fun because the Warriors are going to be dangerous. And like you said, to me, the most dangerous teams in the West are, yes, agree, the Lakers, the Suns, and the Warriors.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious at this juncture and that's what makes the West so topsy-turvy, where in the East, it's a 4-team thing. I see the 4 best teams in the East as the Bucks, the Celtics, the Sixers, and the Knicks.
But, hey, to add something, what's so great about these playoffs finally? We don't have those under 500 teams in the playoffs.
That's a cool thing to finally look at too. I mean,
One
even
to
with
eight.
these play-in guys, even the play-in guy. Well, I mean, the play-in is still the play-in, but
we're gonna have 2 teams in the play-in that are under 500.
I mean, from 1 to 8. I mean, 1 to 8.
Oh, 1 to 8. Okay, yeah. Then 100%.
I don't like the play-in.
I don't like it either. I think, look, it was cool.
Revenue, guys, revenue. It's like baseball adding and football adding wild card situations. They want the more games that matter, the more revenue. You already know this.
Throw in the play-in if we have a situation where you have a 4-way tie for the 8 seed. Then throw in the play-in. Yeah. If where you're literally looking at, well, who played their starters more minutes or something like that. I mean,
the problem is that the CBA will never allow it to be dictated in that manner. But I am on your side in terms of your logic on that. But it's like anything else. Many of us will sound kind of grumpy and be like, "This isn't the product that we grew up on." But one thing it's not. But one thing I must say is the NBA is in a great position right now, similar to Major League Baseball with the speed of the game changing, with the World Baseball Classic really helping people draw interest into MLB. The NBA right now is in a good place because these playoffs are going to be exciting, and that is ultimately why people want to watch sports. They're looking for a getaway from reality, but they're also looking for the excitement. And the NBA playoffs, in addition to the NHL playoffs, because similar out west in the NHL, it's the same thing. We made the reference about Denver and where they would be if they were in the East. It's very comparable to what's going on in hockey. The West, their top tier would be in the middle of the East. The East is where it's at on both sides. But then again, it all has to be revealed because the teams with the best record, that doesn't guarantee you a championship.
Check this out. I'm going to predict it right now. So far, my women's basketball team won the national championship.
Yes.
The Tigers.
Yes.
Next, New York Knicks. And after that, New York Yankees. We're going to go clean sweep.
Sir.
I said it.
Sir.
And it will have been over 10,000 days since the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
Oh, boy. I am very excited about tonight's show. We're going to be bringing it. I'm actually, as soon as I'm done here, I'm getting in the shower and I'm heading out to Mom's house. I'm actually going to probably record from my stepdad's office because I'm still going to be there and trying to make sure that I'm not suffering from the itis too bad. But gentlemen,
I'll be in the Richie Hicks Sports Podcast headquarters in North Carolina for tonight's show.
I'm stoked, man. I'm really excited about tonight's show. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Shout out Corey Rain yesterday making his first appearance on our show. I think he did a hell of a job with his takes on not just the Yankees, but baseball in general. I'm really pleased with the way that went. Shout out to this guy, Idris. Sorry, Zap, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Idris, can you share with the viewers one of your new endeavors that you're going to be doing through Hand Radio?
Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on handradio.org. I will be mixing your favorite hip-hop and R&B classics.
Love it,
non-stop.
Love it,
by
man.
the Richie Hicks Sports Podcast.
Love it, man. And I'm looking forward to that. And I will definitely make sure that we are sharing that amongst our fan base as well. Big shout out.
Rock and jazz too down the line. I'm making everybody happy.
Big shout out to the Real DJs. Big shout out to Casual Convo. They do some great things over there. Had a really beautiful show this past week. If you haven't, definitely make a point to check it out. An emotional show, definitely one worth watching. And I think both of you did a phenomenal job on that, as well as your guest. I think that he really brought a lot of knowledge to the show. If you haven't, please make it a point, like and subscribe to Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast on YouTube. And Zappy, I want you to finish this out. What was on your mind there?
No, I was going to say shout out to Corey as well, man, because, there's not very many people where you meet over a phone or a podcast and then sit down and talk for an hour and a half afterwards.
That was more than an hour and a half.
Yeah, well, on my part, because I came in late.
Okay.
But, and to be able to talk sports, religion, politics, it seemed like we covered every topic in the world.
Every aspect of of what's happening in the world, I think we did hit on yesterday, and it was a phenomenal conversation. And I
very educated, and that's why I hesitate talking politics with people, because I feel a lot of people get in their feelings.
Yeah.
Whereas yesterday it was really good talk.
Yeah, it's a healthy conversation, and it's what our leaders on every facet, whether it's Democratic, whether it's Republican, whether it's in the middle. I feel that when you see an educated conversation about the world issues, things that are going on, not just in our country, but in our world, I think that's where it's lacking in Washington. I'm calling everybody out. I'm not taking sides. You got grown-ass people making hefty salaries acting like a bunch of fucking children. And it's unacceptable. Do better, Washington. Until next time, which will be later, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. From Eddie's office, I'm going to be hanging in this again. Oh, boy.
From North Carolina, the headquarters of the Richie Hicks, the other headquarters of the Richie Hicks Sports Conference. Get his zappy. I'm stuttering.
Oh, this guy was
get the headquarters down.
This guy was drinking with us too yesterday.
I think he's still drinking, man. Yeah, I think you might feel like Alex right now and feel like a pancake laying down on the canvas. God,
I do, for real.
It's all good. I mean,
headquarters, man.
I'll take a fumbled word or two because of the fact that it's pure excitement. We're definitely enjoying what we're doing here, and we're looking forward to bringing you the Eastern and Western Conference previews, predictions, the whole lick. We're going to tell you who's going to win the NBA Finals. I might, kind of be tipping my hand here. Rest in peace, Willis Reed, man. A few weeks removed from this man's death, definitely a vital part of Knicks history before my time, but someone that I made a point as a fan to do my history on, history learning on. Patrick Ewing might be the greatest Knick of all time, but Willis Reed was the catalyst for the greatest Knicks team of all time. I think that's the greatest way to say it. Of course, Walt Clyde Frazier, he's truly a treasure. He's still with us, so got to celebrate that while he's still with us. And, you got to give these people their roses while they're still with us. Walt Clyde Frazier just articulates a game like no other, and he is truly a treasure. And I hope
jacket.
Yeah, I love it. You gotta love it. And I hope he stays around forever, man, because that's going to be a tough blow for not just Knick fans when he eventually goes, but for all of us that love the NBA and love the great sport of basketball. I'm rambling. I'm mumbling. I'm going to be getting out of here, guys. See you boys in a few hours for the show. Enjoy your families. Enjoy your days today. Enjoy your food today.
Oh, today's Easter, huh?
Yeah. Sure is.
I'm waiting for tomorrow to get the candy from the kids.
Oh,
the 50% discounts everywhere.
What do you think I did right now? When I heard they were all upstairs, I'm like, all right, let me go grab a candy.
This
basket.
Yeah, the day after Easter, with the exception of Halloween, is like the biggest.
That's my day.
That's like the conception of. That's like the cavity conception day. Until next time, he is Zappy. He is Idris. I am your host, Richie. It's been a pleasure doing our show today. We will see you later for the NBA playoff preview. Happy Easter, everyone, and enjoy today. Make the best of it.
This guy.